Welcome to our milk market tidbit for the January cold storage report that USDA released yesterday afternoon. This is Dr. Lawrence Jones, and I'm recording this on Wednesday, February the 25th. So the cold storage report is the second report that comes in after the milk production report, and then to kind of tie everything together is the dairy products report that comes in about a week later. So if we look at how these numbers came together, first we're going to start with the revisions. And overall, USDA raised the cheese cold storage about 5 million pounds, and they actually lowered the butter cold storage by about 14 million pounds. So that was some significant changes. Then we look at how they came in compared to the typical. StoneX was pretty close. They were a little high on the butter numbers. I had a total miss on the cheese numbers as well as the butter numbers. And so I went back and said, why did I have a total miss on those? So I decided I would actually dig into this just a little bit. And what it turned out is I had us producing more cheese than what I think we were going to. So right now I've got it at 1.4% month over month, which is exactly where the milk production is. And the number that I used to change that is how much of the milk goes into cheese. So once I did that, my numbers came together with the cold storage almost on top of each other. So I think that's where I was wrong on that. And then wrong on the butter one is the fact I had less fat going into butter. And in fact, with butter being so strong right now, I think it had more going in. And so once I did that, those numbers came in very close also. So again, I don't see any real major surprises in this cold storage report for either butter or cheese. Now, the market is way up today, and so they must have seen something they liked. But again, I didn't see any major surprises in it. So I'll graph these out. This is the cheese stocks. It came in a little bit lower than the seasonal adjusted level. So again, what is a seasonal adjusted level? That's just where we take all of these previous months and say, did we normally increase cheese stocks or did we decrease? And so we didn't go up as much as we would normally go up, but again, we're above the trend line a little bit. So we increased by 2.3 million pounds, and the question is, how much do we typically increase? So this is the last 10 years or so, and on average, we increase about 7 million. So again, probably a little bit less than we would have typically put into cold storage. American stocks were about the same, and again, American stocks include the cheddar ones, and so it was just a little bit less than what we thought it would be. Again, historically, we add a reasonable amount. Now, I thought that this would be much stronger because this is the forward curve for cheddar. We had $1.40 in January, and again, these were like the middle of January. I'm looking at the data. So if you put cheese in cold storage and take it out here, even 4 months later, you're going to have like a 20-cent advantage there. So I was a little bit surprised we didn't put more cheese into cold storage. Other stocks are basically right where we expected them to be. Again, we're on a downward trend, for basically the last 3 to 4 years. Swiss stocks are coming up a little bit, and they were a little bit stronger than the seasonal trend. Then we turn to butter, and again, this is the old one that I totally missed, but it came up 27.8 million pounds. StoneX had it coming up a whole lot more, but again, I think 27.8 is about where it ought to be. The butter stocks were a little bit lower than even we thought they'd be seasonal, but when you look at the difference between those are the exports. And again, we've had just significant butter exports, and I think we were exporting butter as opposed to putting it into cold storage. So that finishes up the milk market tidbits for this week, and the next one is going to be the class components a week from today.